What's up, YouTube? Reverend Bob. Well, I bought 20 more hangers, and guess what? There still ain't enough room, and I ran out of hangers to put all my guitars up. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, yeah, guys, I still got guitars down here, guitars out in the shop, guitars, right? So, I'm trying to figure this out. And I can't fit all my amps down here, so... Oh my God, I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But, I'll figure it out. I might have to start making them a little closer like I did over here for every one of them. I don't know. But, I mean... Maybe I'll just leave that many up and keep the rest of them in cases. I don't know. Anyway, I mean, look, you think I'm kidding you? Look, even in the corner, there's this little baby amps. Anyway, I just wanted to show you what I was up to. You know, I have my days too. I love my guitars though. And, you know, I got them from all kinds of years. 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever. I got them. I got special ones. I worked for Esteban, and Esteban signed a few of them. I don't have them all up that he signed for me, but what a heck of a nice guy he is, you know. Got to know his story. Sometime, guys, go read the story on Esteban. Sammy Hagar. I got him a couple times. My brother's a friend of his son's on YouTube or something. I don't know. Which is cool. You know, they're just regular people, you know. There's some artists out there that are just regular people, right? I mean, hang out with them, chill out with them, have beer with them, whatever. Sit down, play cards, whatever. Not everybody's... you know, an ass hat. So, remember that. Got some more over here signed. What do we got over here? Oh, that one's from Esteban. The guy that gave me that guitar right there. That was one of the first Ks that, or Konas that they came out with, right? And I was working for the guy a little bit from time to time, helping him out in his shop in Westerly. And he was going to throw it in the junkyard. I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, you want it?" I said, "Yeah, I can fix that." He goes, "Well, brother, if you want it, take it." So he gave it to me. And unfortunately, about a year later, he passed away. So I never sold it. And I took it to Esteban and asked him if he'd sign it. And his drummer, Morin, if he would sign it. And he did. And I told him the story behind it. So, really cool. So I've kept it. And this one here is Chris Duffy and his band. That's their signed guitar, Olympia, by Tacoma. I got a few other ones that are signed. Some of them are not here. Some of them are actually in a vault. But this one here is a really odd one. You're probably saying, what is up with that? Well, I did all the artwork on. Anything that you see down here that's painted, like this one. This is the 60s piece Telecaster. I went crazy. I did that one. And then I got another one back there, Telly, that's done that way. But that flame one right there isn't. That's a Jimmy Burton or James Burton. He used to be that's a special edition. That's a American Telly. And this one down here, even though it says Squire, there's only so many of those Strats made. And that's an American Strat. What happened was there was a fire over in Korea, and it shut down and brought the production back to the United States for a little while. So they were back up and running. Very short run. But there was a limited amount of those made. So that's a U.S. That Squire back there, that red one, oh man, it's a cherry back there. That Squire. It's a cherry. USA made. Okay. Made in the United States. Same thing as the other Strat. Nice. got the case with it and everything. Very, very nice Strats. And they are American Strats. And they are becoming rare. Real rare. That one there, I think that one there runs, if you can find them, somewhere between $1,800 and about $3,200 for that Strat. You know? And this one here, this Strat right here, that's a fluke, right? So what happened was, there's a run of those, and if you look, it says Fender on it, right? Fender Stratocaster, made in Korea. Squire by Fender. So this, that's an anomaly. Is it real? Absolutely. Is it really rare? Absolutely. So I got that one. Everybody's saying, well, how many real Fenders do you have? I mean, with a real Fender name on it. Well, I have two. One here and one somewhere else in the world. But those are real. Those are real Fender made, all Fender parts, all USA parts, okay? So, don't think that they're not. But I really like the Squire series. The thing about the Squire series is, and I think that people don't understand, is some of them are really super, super rare. Like this one down here. I started to paint and I never finished it. But I started to paint on that one with a reverse headstock. It's got the Floyd Rose, real Floyd Rose tremolo system on it. It's got a DiMarzio in the bridge position. And I can't remember what the other ones are, but oh yeah, there's some really cool and rare and freaky stuff. I started on that yellow one and I ain't finished that yet. I got quite a few other ones that I'm working on, but I got a company that's going to pre-make some for me, and I'm going to do the finishing work on them. I got my own specifications out there for them, and then I'll finish the rest of the stuff off once it gets to the United States, and they will only be sold on my channel. That's it. To my friends and family. I'm not going to put out probably more than 10 of them a year. I don't want to get into it too deep for the ones that'll be, under $500, plus whatever the cost of the case is and shipping. But, I just don't, I do it more because I love the art of building guitars, as a luthier. I love it because I like to see people be happy and have a nice guitar at a reasonable price. And quite frankly, there's only a couple people's hands that have ever been on the ones that I make. Now, if I make one that's just done by me, personally, then the only one that touches it is me. That's it. And those are usually very quietly done. What I mean is only me that looks at it, unless Mary comes out and checking on it. But outside of that, it's just me and the person that gets it. I'm not really into the publicity part. I'm into making it very personal. That's how I am. That's how I've always been. And I like to do it. I like to have fun with it. I think the problem with guitars, not the guitars themselves. That's a beautiful guitar, ain't it? That's the 30th anniversary. I couldn't afford to get a 35th from Paul Reed Smith this year. I just been giving out too much money. Unlike a lot of these big businesses that, I really didn't see them poke themselves out there to do a lot. Some did, some didn't, I wasn't able to afford the 35th anniversary, which I'd have loved to have. This one here, Paul Reed Smith built. Had his hands in the pie on that one. That's a beautiful guitar. That's a really nice guitar. Now, I did the artwork. And that's peacock feathers that my father had gotten me. And then I did all the hand paint. And in there, you're going to see these little things popping up, right? See that? Them are all real star sapphires, right? And there's abalone and mother of pearl shell. And a lot of it I did and chipped myself and made. And multiple colors and multiple layers of paint in it. But I really love that guitar. Probably out of these two right here that I'm looking at, that Guild was one of the last Guilds that was ever made in Rhode Island. One of the last Gill Bluesbirds ever made. Off the line. But, well, it has a story that really made me sick. The reason why it's this color now is, and why there's binding, is because somebody that I dated a long time ago, she decided to get drunk one night and take a Leatherman to it and bang it on the floor for no reason. And that's why, I have a problem with people drinking too much. And, they just don't know how to temper themselves. So, I try to keep everything that I do and the people that I hang around sensible, not let their mouths get away with themselves, because it embarrasses them and it hurts others, and I don't agree with that. So, but that was a very expensive guitar, and I really didn't have a lot of money, but my ex-wife made it possible for me to get this guitar many years ago. And even though we never stayed together or anything, I always tried to be cordial with her. And because I remember a lot of good things, and sometimes people are so unrational with their exes, And I remember some of the sacrifices she made for me, too. So, it's just like Mary, my lady. She makes sacrifices. I couldn't have all of this without her, too, I mean, Mary puts up with a lot from me. And, it takes, it took me, well, let's see. I only had 2 before Junior was born, and he's 30, so it's taken me about 30 years to acquire all of these. And this isn't even everything yet. But, so it wasn't like that I'm some kind of rich guy and all of a sudden, somebody drops off a bunch of money. It's been hard. My whole life has been hard. It hasn't been easy. And, but I can look at some of the sacrifice that I made and some of my hard-earned money, and it's down here, It's down here on the wall. A lot of hard work. Tell you a little story about this guitar. It's a real Gibson Les Paul, right? Studio. And it says Faith on it. And I didn't want it to be perfect. So I hand cut them. Hand cut all that abalone. No machine. I did it with a hand file. Every bit of it. And then the body, unfortunately, something happened to the body. And so I wanted to have that rustic barn look. So I took some spalted maple from a tree out back. And I put it on top of it. And if you look, it looks really cool. Looks like somebody just took a hunk of wood, right? But that's a small piece of laminate. I call it laminate because it's real thin. Spalted maple. And I put it over the top of that mahogany body. And then, if you look, those are abalone potentiometer knobs, right? I did all those by hand. Seymour Duncan pickups. But I still haven't finished it. And that guitar back there, the TTM Super Shop USA made Devastator with that quilted maple top, let me tell you something, with the Duncans in it, that is a super nice guitar. And if you can find them, which are very rare, there's a guy in Washington State that collects these. As a matter of fact, many years ago, back in like 2001 or 2002, somewhere around there, I had a purple one that I had made for me. A purple Devastator. Oh my God, it was beautiful. But he wanted it really bad because he was trying to collect most of them. So I got away. I let that one go, but this one here, I would not let go. Not this Devastator. That's a real one. And let me tell you what, TTM makes some really good guitars. They went through kind of a little weird time in there. production of guitars, but that's really nice. And then this one over here, which is a Gibson Les Paul double cut. I got that one last year, and I've only played it once, and then I decided that I was going to start painting it. And if you look, it's really fine painting on it, right? And it takes hours and hours and hours and hours and hours for me to do things. And sometimes it takes years for me to finish projects, you know. This Epiphone back here, this Epiphone Les Paul standard, right? See that one? Well, the story behind that one was it had a neck break. And I fixed the guitar. And it took me a while. And then I put some pickups in it. And put some new potentiometers in it. And the guy said, well, I ain't paying that. And I said, well, you know, a deal's a deal. Because, well, whatever, just keep the guitar. So, you know, one of those deals, you know. So, in retrospect, what I did was, I said, well, the guitar in the shape that it was in was probably only worth, you know, $100. So I gave him $100. I sent him $100 and kept the guitar. But it's right there. And then back there is one of my old Melody Makers back there. It's from the early 2000s. And then back there's, oh God, that Gibson back there. There's a story behind that I don't even need to say. The ones who had them knew. This guitar came in, and the neck, there was no neck glue in it. Okay, there was no glue. And I'm like, what the hell? And I didn't have just one. I had like 5 of them come in from Gibson. And they were the shite. I ain't lying. So I had to go back through that one and, you know, redo all of that one. And it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I had to get a set of pickups that more matched it, you know. Because, yeah, you can match pickups. Just because something says, oh, it's a Seymour Duncan, da-da-da-da-da, whatever. Or it's a DiMarzio, or it's a Ken Armstrong. That don't mean anything. You got to try to match pickups some, too. You know what I mean? I mean, it's pretty important. This one here is a limited edition Gibson Les Paul custom. I picked this up. It's a really nice one. I like it. Love the flame. It's a very subtle guitar, but don't let that fool you. Then, of course, I think you guys seen the video that I did on this one, this Harley Benton. So I upgraded everything. You know, top of the line machine heads, went through, redid the frets, made sure the frets were good. Put a set of Kent Armstrongs in it with a motherbucker in the bridge. It's really nice. So I hyped this one up. Didn't change the potentiometers, but I have another set if I wanted to. I thought about it, and I haven't really decided. Because more or less, I'm not going to keep this guitar. I'm going to sell it as soon as somebody wants it. I'll sell it. You know? But it's a really nice guitar. But, you know, this is a copy of that. And they are not the same. You know, at least the body style. There is no comparison. You know, is it good? Yes. Is it to the same level of that guitar? No. They are not the same beasts. You know, they are not. Is it nice? Absolutely. But that guitar, you know, is $6,000, and this guitar is $600. So there's a big difference, you know. Anyway, what else we got? We got this Burnside back here. The Lance, right, by Guild. Really rare. Took a little chip to the end there. I mean, I could probably fix that one day. I didn't see the need for it. But it has that Cala bridge on it. That bridge alone is, you know, $300 because that's a real 80s bridge, you know. But, oh yeah, nice. It's an old bird. But anyway, getting back to this guitar over here. This is called a clam bake guitar. Now, most people don't understand what a clam bake is, but it's a real Fender Real Fender acoustic guitar, right? It's a Kingman, signed with Elvis Presley on it. Still got the tags. Well, I started painting it, and I just didn't finish it. But if anybody knows about Rhode Island's known for clam bakes, right? So I want to do something fun. It would be like sitting on the beach and having a clam bake. But I haven't finished it yet. I started it. This is what they call the base paint of it. And one day I'll get to it. But that's kind of rare. I bought that, I don't know, probably 7, 8 years ago. Probably now. Not more. Yep. That guitar right there. This one right here. All colorful flakes in it. I built this guitar. I built this guitar for Mary years ago. She wanted her own guitar. So I built this one for her. So I built that one. And then that one over there, which is a Mitchell. Mary likes that pink and purple, so I ended up buying that Mitchell for her. Actually, it's a pretty good guitar, believe it or not. Okay, let's go over here. This is a Cortez. Now, most people don't know what Cortez is, but I don't want to get into that right now because I might do a story on it. But this is an older Cortez, and I put a set of humbucker rails in there. And it's not too bad of a guitar. It's pretty cool. Got a Jackson over here. Only because I don't want Jackson to feel bad that I ain't got one on the wall. See, nobody ever gives me anything. I always have to buy everything. So that's why I don't always believe everything you see on YouTube. Trust me. Unless you got money and you're some big name, they don't care about you. Trust me, they don't. This is a beautiful Stella. Now, to see